Hey guys, imagine this. You're standing on an island cloaked in fog, where whispers of buried treasure have echoed through centuries. An island that's consumed the lives of explorers, drawn kings and presidents into its legend, and left behind more questions than answers. This, my friends, is Oak Island. And in Season 12, Episode 19 of The Curse of Oak Island, something huge is happening. This isn't just another hole in the ground, this could be the tipping point of a 230-year-old mystery. Let's take a deep dive, no pun intended, into what makes Episode 19, barreling forward, a massive breakthrough and possibly a game-changer in the most infamous treasure hunt of all time. Let's rewind to the heart of the episode, the excavation of RP2, a new shaft positioned with precision, driven by historical theory and 230 years of desperation. The goal? To intersect with the legendary Shaft 6 tunnel. That's right. We're talking about the very tunnel where, in 1861, two treasure chests were reportedly pierced by drills, chests believed to have been swallowed whole by a catastrophic flood that transformed wood, iron, and perhaps gold, into an underwater grave. Now, what's compelling isn't just the act of digging. It's what they're pulling up. Wooden beams with iron straps. Curved planks that scream barrel stave. And not just any barrel, but the kind you might imagine holding Spanish gold or secret scrolls of ancient brotherhoods. Rick Lagina himself stands there, practically cradling the evidence like a newborn, eyes glowing with that quiet fire only seen when history taps you on the shoulder. And friends, it's not just wood and nails we're talking about. It's narrative proof. Because when you find iron straps wrapped around timbers at the precise depth the chests were said to have collapsed, and when those pieces match descriptions from the 1861 disaster, you're not just uncovering artifacts, you're confirming legends. The emotional weight in the air is palpable. Every splinter pulled from RP2 feels like another page torn from a hidden journal written by time itself. You can see it in Marty's face, analytical, skeptical, but more hopeful than ever. We're close, he says. Not as a wild guess, but as a man standing at the threshold of a dream. Now, shift gears, because we're heading toward the swamp. Yes, the murky, misleading, manipulative swamp that has given us more questions than answers over the years. But today, oh today, it's different. Stakes, logs, and strange engineering begin to take shape. Literally. Hand-cut wooden survey stakes perfectly spaced. A carved log with grooves so evenly etched, it screams purpose-built. Archaeologist Ethan weighs in and says what we're all thinking, that's no accident. It may have been a roller, something used to transport heavy objects. Like, say, treasure chests. What if, my friends, the swamp wasn't a natural formation? What if it was designed, a carefully crafted decoy, a watery vault meant to deceive, hide, and preserve something too valuable for the world to forget? The Oak Island team is starting to believe that very thing. And just when we think the swamp can't get more mysterious, we venture to Lot 5. Ah yes, Lot 5, the quiet shoreline stretch that has become a goldmine of its own. Venetian beads. 14th century barter tokens. Fleur-de-lis pottery. Mortar samples matching soil from over 100 feet deep in the money pit. Let that sink in, materials found in an ancient shoreline structure matching what's buried over a football field deep into the earth. That's not coincidence. That's coordination across centuries. That's staging, planning, and hiding at a level that even the most sophisticated operations today would envy. Is it French? Is it Templar? Is it both? Theories are swirling like the Atlantic storms that batter this legendary isle. But one thing is certain, Lot 5 wasn't just a place to rest boats. It was likely a hub for operations, and maybe the very spot where treasure began its journey underground. Now, let's talk carbon dating. A wooden dowel recovered from RP2 tests between 1725 and 1764. That's decades before the money pit was discovered in 1795. Which means, folks, someone was already there. Someone was digging, building, and hiding long before anyone officially started looking. That fits right into the theory of the Duc d'Anville expedition, a French naval mission that failed spectacularly in the mid-1700s and was rumored to have buried treasure to avoid capture. The dates match. The French artifacts align. And now, the terrain is literally speaking the same language. And let's not forget Fred Nolan, the men who drained the swamp in the 60s and found ship parts and 16th century survey stakes. Everyone called him eccentric. Maybe even obsessed. But with each new dig, his theories ring truer. Fred believed the swamp was artificial. Now, so does the entire team. In fact, they're standing on proof. In many ways, The Curse of Oak Island is a show about patience and persistence in the face of failure. You think you've struck gold, only to find bedrock. You think you've solved the mystery, only to discover another one lying beneath it. But that's the beauty of this saga. It mirrors the very nature of treasure itself, not something you simply find, but something you earn. As we push into RP2's deepest levels and look toward RP3, the team is more unified than ever. Each shovel of dirt, each lab-tested nail, each carved piece of timber, it's all part of a larger puzzle that, piece by piece, is starting to show its image. Maybe, just maybe, the curse is weakening. And here's the thing about Oak Island, it's not just the wood, the iron, or even the coins. It's the intent behind these discoveries that stirs the imagination. These weren't careless drops from lost travelers. These were items placed with purpose, hidden with strategy, buried with fear, or maybe with faith. Whether it was the Templars, French military forces, or even secret societies, every sign points to one chilling truth: someone was trying to protect something. And you know what else? The deeper the team digs, the more the technology of the past reveals itself. These weren't amateur efforts. The structures are advanced. The tunnel systems, interconnected shafts, flood traps, layered obstacles, show signs of engineering far beyond what most 18th century pirates could have mustered. This wasn't a rogue operation. It was a project, possibly supported by powerful backers, driven by high-stakes goals, and executed with remarkable precision. Now let's talk about the emotional side of this journey. We often focus on the artifacts, the tunnels, the science, but what about the people? Watching Rick, Marty, Gary, Craig, and the team, year after year, they're not just chasing riches. They're chasing a promise. A promise made to their younger selves, to history, to the 6 souls lost on the island, and to all of us watching from our living rooms with bated breath. It's personal. It's spiritual. And that emotional energy fuels every drill, every sonar scan, every cautious descent into the unknown. And what about the idea that Oak Island is a decoy, a masterful distraction from an even greater truth? Some theorists believe the real treasure is not in the money pit, but in what it teaches us, about faith, secrecy, and unity. Could it be that the artifacts are just breadcrumbs leading us to something metaphysical? A revelation about ancient orders, lost wisdom, or truths deliberately buried to protect humanity from itself? It sounds wild, but hey, after 230 years of mystery, anything's fair game. Don't overlook the symbolism either. That carved wood with lines that may have functioned like treads, was it meant to move treasure, or was it a metaphor for movement itself? Is Oak Island's true reward not a chest of gold, but motion? The eternal drive to keep going, to keep asking, to never stop seeking answers. That's a treasure we can all chase, regardless of the island. Let's not forget the long-standing legend that 7 must die before the treasure can be found. 6 men have already perished over the centuries. Does this chilling prophecy mean we're dangerously close? Or is it just myth, perpetuated to heighten the thrill? Either way, it adds a layer of haunting suspense that hangs over every dig, every find, every close call. And now that we're nearing the money pit's original depth with RP2, we're standing on the precipice of either historical triumph, or yet another heartbreak. That's the curse, isn't it? It gives just enough to keep hope alive, but never enough to quench it. And yet, the team digs on. Because that's what treasure hunters do. They risk the heartbreak for a chance, just a chance, at rewriting history. Before we close out, I want to say this: whether or not they ever find gold, the Lagina brothers and their team have already uncovered something far more valuable, a story. One that connects us all. One that makes us dream bigger, question deeper, and believe that the impossible might just be waiting beneath a few more feet of earth.